Yeah, I did it once. It's me again. I dropped Los Angeles for all you haters. I'm back with this fearless, you know what I'm saying? You cats in LA, some of y'all half-stepping, thinking y'all doing it better than me. You wanna be? Bring it to the plate. You know what? Let's go.
We out on the show, we doing what we do. One side red and the other side blue. Niggas ain't tripping, we out having fun. When you living in the city that sets with the sun. We out on the show, we doing what we do. One side red and the other side blue. Niggas ain't tripping, we out having fun. When you living in the city that sets with the sun.
What's up, y'all? Now let me set the tone, man. How many of us grew up hearing, I gave you food, I gave you clothes, I gave you a roof over your head, as if that was a crown achievement of raising a child? That's not parenting, that's survival. And we've been tricked into thinking survival is the same as success. But let's keep it real. A lot of the older generation, they don't want to admit to what really went on. Yeah, y'all worked hard, but let's be honest too. A lot of y'all were smoking drugs back then, some still smoking now. Some of y'all were chasing the streets instead of raising your kids. And the excuse has always been, well, I kept a roof over your head. But here's the question. Where were the life lessons? Where was the teachings of how to build, how to manage money, how to lead, how to stand tall as a man or woman in this world? Because if you didn't know those skills, why didn't you go out and learn them so your kids wouldn't have to start from scratch? I'm going to say that again. Because if you didn't know those skills, why didn't you go out and learn them so your kids wouldn't have to start from scratch? And I say this with love, not with hate. But it's time we admit it. Drugs, prison, poverty, silence, these things robbed a lot of kids of guidance. That's why so many of us had to learn life on the streets, from mistakes, from trial and error. But it doesn't have to be that way forever. Minimal parenting builds survivors, but it doesn't build leaders. And if we want to stop repeating the same cycle, we need to stop celebrating the bare minimum and start demanding more for ourselves, for our own elders, for our community. So tonight, with this panel of strong Black men who will be arriving soon, we got brothers, from equivalent Black excellent colleges like Morehouse, Texas Southern, representatives of Texas, Houston, Port Arthur, Beaumont, brothers who seen life from different sides. We're going to have these conversations our parents and grandparents didn't want to have, because we're not here to bash them. We're here to be honest, to face the truth, to say survival is not enough. Our children deserve better, and it starts with us demanding where we fall short and deciding the cycle stops right here. So with that being said, some people got to take a personal reflection. When you look back, like what do you think your parents did well, and what do you and how should I say this, and what did they fall short on? Because nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect at all. I know sometimes you want to hear the truth, and let's be real. You hear conversations from a lot of people where a lot of stuff that happened to them from back in the days, men and women, where parents don't want to admit to things. The guilt sets in. You got to push them to be honest about. You push them to be honest, because that's generational silence. A lot of them don't even want to admit to the stuff they was doing, the drugs, the neglect, or the absence. That is big. I've said this on multiple shows, man. You got some people who've been using this stuff for over 30, 40 years of their life, man. And when does it stop? How you going to move forward and expect to live a comfortable life if you don't want to admit to a lot of stuff that's still hindering you in the future that you did in the past? And that goes for anybody. You see a lot of people on the streets, a lot of people living on the streets who can do good for themselves. Not everybody's on the street is an idiot. It's some people on the street with PhDs and stuff, but some people choose, that's celebrating that millennial parenting, minimal parenting. Some of them people feel like, that I spoke to personally, like, oh man, my mom and dad didn't do this for me, So the minimal parenting led some people that way. They didn't know where to go. Some of them are out there, but some of them have the drive to make it, but they don't want to make it because they didn't let the streets take over. That's the drugs. That's just the street factor of it. How much damage did drugs do in the 70s, 80s, and 90s? How much damage did it really do to Black parenting? Let's ask about that. And when I say black parenting too, you can include Hispanics in that too, because back in the days in the community, it wasn't really that tension going on. The media has made it like that over the last 10 to 15 years. And a lot of street political politics and jail politics. You know, some people on the streets abide by the jail politics on the streets. That's why they always going back. Um, but yeah, let's be real. How much damage did drugs do in the 70s, 80s? You know, how much did it really do to black parenting? It affected black parenting a lot. As I say again, some black parents are still on that stuff. Some of them will never get off that stuff. Some of them don't know how to get off of it because some of them have an ego to where they feel that I I I don't have a problem, you know, and they don't realize the problem is really a big issue for them. Um, and it's for everybody. A lot of people don't know the stuff they missed out on life for participating in a lot of these things, these so-called things they call recreational drugs. But I've heard a lot of people say this, that when you smoke cane, you never have no money. I don't know who can attest to that. Maybe some people who may be listening know they past and know the past of some other people and know for a fact that that might be true. So, like what a lot of that being said too is a lot of life skills that was missed. You know, some of the skills that weren't taught at home. You know, and how did that shape some of the people growing up as men who grew up in a situation like that? You know, because we already know majority of the men back in the late 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, not in just the black community, even in the white and Hispanic community, grew up with just mothers. How did that shape the men? You know, a lot of people feel it makes you a stronger man. I don't know. I can't speak for other people. You know, I grew up in a traditional household. I have my mother, father. Thank God. We may not see eye to eye, but I don't have no issue with them. Um, but it's just I don't know. Just, it depends on environment. Like I already know raising kids in California because it's so many elements involved. You know, it's always expensive out here. So you being able to enjoy life and do the things you would want to do, it's not always accessible. And plus you have a very large gang factor out here, which you may not, partake in, but you gotta be vigilant of and be aware of. What's going on, Russ?
All right, how you doing? Not
All
much.
good, man. All good, man. What's the word down in H Town?
Oh man, not too much. Pleasant day actually, not too hot for once. I was just sitting up here watching football, Monday night football.
I hear that, man. I hear that. You know what's so crazy, man? Like I asked a few. I think I spoke to you earlier and had this conversation with you, but I asked multiple people this question, and I had asked them. I said, how do y'all feel about people you see on social media celebrating when they have a relative or maybe like a mom had a child that got out and did 10, 15, 20 years, and like, and how do y'all feel about the comments, if you read them, of people, just saying, oh, that's so, oh, God blessed them, and like, yeah, God blessed them, he did the stretch, he or she, and got out. Yeah, that's a long time, but just the like, congratulations, like, what did you accomplish? That's a question I asked. Like, what did you accomplish? What do you think they accomplished? And I got some crazy mixed answers, but like, what do you think about that?
I mean, I understand it from the point of view from somebody's loved one. I mean, that's your loved one. You haven't seen them for, some number of years. You're happy that they're home.
Yeah.
You miss them and you love them. So I can understand you celebrating that they're back home. I'm not necessarily celebrating the fact that you were, the reason you were gone from home, or celebrating the thing that you have done. But I mean, I understand them being happy that the person is home, but they should. I don't think it necessarily calls for a celebration to make the person seem like they have accomplished something great. No.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're right, and you know what, man? Like I say, this title of this show is celebrating minimal parenting. Trying to break the cycle in the black community. Um, and one thing I want to add to that, like I've always iterated, man. I encourage a lot of people. And you probably heard me say this. I encourage a lot of the black youth to be police officers or some kind of law enforcement. You don't have to be a street cop. You have all kind of other departments where you could be peace officers. And I got a clip I want to show you is to the reason why I say that. But before I play that clip, let me get this out the way.
No copyright infringement intended. This video is for educational purposes only. The audio belongs to its rightful owners.
Like I say, most of these videos are for educational purposes, just to give people an idea of the opinion that I'm talking about. But as I was saying, one of the reasons why I encourage a lot of the black youth to be police officers is because a lot of the people in the black community complain about who's policing them. And just check this out real quick.
I want your sergeant here. I have my rights to call a sergeant here. So call your sergeant right now.
All right, we're gonna call.
Call your sergeant. What's your name?
It's Officer Mason.
What's your name? What's your name?
They
Protecting him. What's your name?
What's my name?
Okay.
Officer Sapinski.
And what's your name? Probably don't even know. Can't even speak. Nope.
So, let me
No, this motherfucker's high. Look at him.
No, I'm.
You're gonna lose your job, motherfucker. Look at him. Look at him. What you do, buddy?
What?
What you do?
What do you mean? What I do? I didn't do anything.
Did you shoot up? Too much shrooms?
Okay.
Or something? What's wrong, buddy? Too much to drink on the job? No.
You as an attorney, Mr. Stringfellow, what do you think about a situation like that when you see somebody who took a sworn oath to protect and serve, or serve and protect, or whatever they fucking oath is, wherever that is? What do you think about a video like that?
I mean, it doesn't look good. Doesn't put the officer in a good light, definitely, because he's high as hell on something. So that kind of calls into question, what is he doing out there policing the community if he's on drugs his damn self? So it's definitely not a good look for whatever department that is.
Well, that is true, and not trying to shame the police department, but I'm not sure what department that was, so I can't say a name. But in the video, what was said too from one of the officers, the taller officer, he did say that officer has been on double shifts, and he has back problems, and he's been taking medicine.
Well, that's what it looked like too. He on some type of opioid or some fentanyl or some shit.
So, I know people gonna say, I don't want to hear that shit, because honestly, if you're paying somebody to protect and serve the community and they're not fit to do that, if they're in that kind of condition, they're not gonna protect anybody. So honestly, even if it is a real medical condition, they shouldn't even be out there like that.
True. I mean, like I said, I don't know the circumstances of it. Shit, he should, like I say, he should be off. Maybe they didn't. He didn't have any paid time off, and he couldn't take off or something. I don't know. But he's definitely high.
Yeah, he's on something. And from the looks of it, some people would say they would like to be on the shit he's on.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he's not feeling any pain.
It would say definitely look like he's painless right now. Huh?
Yeah, he's in a good space. He's definitely in a good space.
Well, I will say this though, if it turns out that he has real drugs in his system,
No more money for you.
Yeah, as it should be, especially out here on duty. I mean, that presents a dangerous situation itself, because if he's driving a police car, he definitely doesn't need to be driving a police car in his current state and not handling a gun.
like that for real. Just for real. Just imagine if a situation that night would have went differently and they had to draw weapons and he start firing, his aim ain't accurate and he hit everybody but the target he's supposed to hit.
Right. Exactly.
So that's some stuff right there. But you know what though, there's been a lot of allegations of different departments, you can look that up of people filing reports and lawsuits against these officers saying they spotted them drinking or they smelled alcohol on it. You get all kind of complaints, but I mean, hell, you seen all kind of shows where you see officers drinking beer in the car. Yeah, it's movies, but I mean, hell, I'm pretty sure who's going to stop a police officer other than another cop, seeing them do it. But you cannot tell me that one officer in one of these little small towns somewhere you ain't never heard of ain't had a beer on duty. Hell, look at these shows where they show the chief invite people to their office and have a shot.
Right. I'm sure there's a lot of officers who had a drink on the job at some point, especially before social media existed. I'm sure there was some wild things going on amongst officers. They're people. They're shit. They're gonna have good officers. You're gonna have bad officers. You're gonna have those who follow the rules. You're gonna have those who break the rules. So it's just like any organization.
Well, a movie that's one of my favorites from Mr. Robert De Niro, 15 Minutes, and I think Doris McCrae was in there. It always amazed me because they were NYPD officers. He was a pretty popular guy because of his street credibility of and being on TV. Like a sort of like some cop shows. In the movie, but they had a scene in there where the cops go to this bar all the time. I guess on they break during a break. I guess that you're allowed to have. I don't know if that's true. Maybe you know that. I know some states say you're allowed to have a drink on your break if you have an hour or something. Have you ever heard of something like that?
I mean, I don't know if Texas or HPD has anything like in their current policy for that. That sounds like it'll be some type of department policy, but I
Okay,
don't
because
know.
I mean that's something I heard in California. I don't know if it's accurate or not. Maybe somebody can hit me up on the Facebook, West of the 110 Facebook with that. Um, and I've heard that over the years. Like some county employees say, they got an hour break. So it's okay for them to have a beer with their lunch. Like if they go sit down and have like some.
And I think that could depend on what type of job they have too. Now, for a police officer, I would think that would be held to a different standard than someone else. Just a county employee who's doing some type of administrative or clerical type of position. Sure, they may be able to go have a drink on their lunch break. But for a police officer,
Yeah.
that's going to raise a whole host of issues, I believe.
And see, that's where the confusion comes in at. Like I said, I know it's just movies, but they get these movie scripts from somewhere. And this is not the first movie I've seen where you've had a captain or somebody, come in there here, open the desk and, 2 cups, pour a drink. I know you probably didn't seen a movie like that. If I'm not mistaken, one of the Beverly Hills cops or some shit, they had a scene like that. Um, but yeah, that's why I say, damn, does that really happen? Like, is the captain got a few bottles in his desk? You know what I'm saying? Does that shit really happen? Like, because I know drinking on the job, would you say that's not prohibited?
I mean, it depends on the policy, the policy of that department.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like I say, that's some shit that somebody else could worry about. But let me ask you this, Russ, man. What would you do, man? You being a older black male, what would you do if you was put in this situation right here?
That's your father or your grandfather? That's my boyfriend. Oh, your boyfriend? Yeah. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
What about it?
What
It's
would you
all
do
right.
in that situation, Russ?
Shit, what is there to do? Shit. What is there to be done?
But you know what, man? And the reason I played that clip, I say out that falls under celebrating minimal parenting. Me personally, it looked like there was a 25 to 30-year age gap between them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, as a father that has daughters, like that or even have a child, like who encourages their daughter to date somebody 30 years older than them?
I mean, no, that wouldn't be my first choice either. But like I said, we got that. She did not look to be a minor or even close
No,
to being
no,
a
not
minor to
no,
me.
not saying that at
So,
all. Not yeah,
so
not
after
saying that at
that
all.
point, I mean, it really ain't my fucking business. You know, shit.
Yeah,
If you
I mean, but
25 to 30 years old and you want to go date a 50 or 60-year-old man, that's your damn business.
yeah, that's your
You
business.
know
You
what I'm
100%. You 100% accurate. But I'm saying if it not just with the minimal parenting. If you in your child's life as a father, I guarantee you that child, if it's a daughter, she's not gonna date no man 30 years older than her. She's gonna try to find somebody respectable around her age.
I mean, yeah, for the most part, that's what you would think. But like I say, I don't know shit. So everybody fucking different. Cause you know there may be some circumstances where that older man could possibly be all right. You know, especially and some women actually like older men. So it's too many different dynamics going on there.
And that's
But
something
he
I never
don't look
got.
like he kind of look he missing teeth and shit. So that's more of my issue. How you gonna go get an old man who don't have no damn teeth? Shit, that don't seem like a upward movement. You know, that's like a lateral movement or maybe even downward shit. You ain't got to go. If you're going to go get an old man, don't go get a motherfucker who already snag a tooth and can't replace his own teeth. I mean, what the hell he going to do for you?
What would you say? Would you say he looking to get her that's got a good job to get on her medical benefits?
Quite possible. Shit, that's quite possible.
Like real talk. And you know what's so crazy, man? Like, um, the job that I've had in the past. I've been working since I was young, so I was always damn near the youngest one at every job I was at. Back in the day. So you're around a lot of older cats, and it's so funny that you would always hear them say, now, mind you, I was 19, 20 at the time, 18, 19, 20, and these dudes is already like, 31, 32 and shit like that. So they say they tagging older women, which is in their 50s. But it's
Yeah.
just some of the funniest shit I always hear. They say, yeah, man, the older women just, I don't know what's going on, but these little young girls that like us, that's like 20 and they 31, 35. He said, man, it's just something about they want every hole played with from an old man. Maybe they got a daddy issue. And I always used to say, like, what the hell does that have to do with a daddy issue? I never did get that because I know a lot of dudes that was raised by a single dad, and I don't see them dating no old woman.
I think it may be because the father was not in the play, was in their life, so they may be looking for a father figure to a certain degree, some type of direction and shit. Yeah, shit, like say, are openly sexual shit about the things they've been through or the things they like. And some
And
of them been molested too, shit.
yeah,
They
and a lot of that's been going on in the black and Hispanic community and the white community here, shit everywhere. A lot of that don't get talked about too. That's a part of that fucking minimal parenting. A lot of that shit, I can't remember her name, but we had one of the she was a guest on the show with Brandon Black and myself on Hood Humor. Shout out to the afterparty.com. She was a guest on that show and she had said some shit that was true that I remember. I'm gonna find that clip and put it back on and crop it and post it on the page. But she had said something like, a lot of people don't talk about, that uncle or that auntie or whatever that stay in that back room that they be saying, y'all don't go back there messing with him, something wrong with him. Like for real,
yeah,
like they say, then
yeah.
I said that's some true shit. A lot of people don't talk about that, like that motherfucking relative that's sick in the head, but
That's the dirty little family secret.
and see, that's the thing that mess a lot of families up, man. Like I like some I got a few partners, rest in peace, man, that just tell us crazy ass stories, man. It's just like wow, man, like damn. And it's funny, like us growing up in LA, like, being with my mom, my dad, my grandma here, We had on my daddy's side of the family, relatives stayed on the block, you know, my uncles from his brother. So it was always motherfuckers watching us, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of our friends flocked to us. They always hung around us. They never wanted to leave, man. It'd be 11 o'clock at night on school night, you know. My grandma used to tell her, hey man, they gotta go, you know, but they, you know, they didn't see that shit at home. They didn't see 8, 7 o'clock somebody saying food ready. You know, you got cabbage, smothered pork chops and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, so that's why I tell a lot of people, man, it's just crazy, man. You can find out a lot about a person if you really pay attention to somebody. You ain't gotta judge somebody. Paying attention to somebody is not judging them, you know. Just paying attention, pay attention to what they're doing.
No, that's not judging them. Shit, just observation is not judging.
Yeah. Um, Paying attention to is always good too. And the funny story is, I had a neighbor, he an older guy. He told me about this one dude. He said, "Man, if you see this dude, don't ever offer him shit at your house." He said, "Just pay attention to him." He said, "Man, I offered him a sandwich at my house one time. My wife make my sandwich around this time of day. It's a retired guy, so you know he don't work. Um,
Mm.
I said, "Hey man, you want a sandwich?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Man, that motherfucker came by my house every day around that same time. My wife made that damn sandwich because he knew I would ask if you wanted a damn sandwich."
Yep.
He said, "Man, you got to pay attention to motherfuckers."
Shit, you like a dog, you feed them and they don't go away. Shit.
Real shit. He said, "Man, you offer a bottle of water." Say every time he came, he would drink about. He said, "Now bullshit you not. I'm not exaggerating." He said he would drink about 8 to 10 bottles of water.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
You
charge your
you
bitch
you, you
ass.
offer
I can't charge you for that.
you offer somebody some water, and that's why he said, "Man, I start making him buy a case. Like if you're gonna come over here, you gotta buy a case."
Yeah. 8 to 10 bottles of water every time you show up. You are drinking a case of water. What? Shit, after 2 visits? Damn
and
no.
and that's somebody who fell into the category of that celebrating that minimal parenting. You know, this dude, you like, come on, bro. Like, where's your fucking home training at? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you too old to be acting like that.
Agreed.
You know, but this dude did have a funny saying. Though, I will say this. He said somebody slapped his daughter, and I mean that's not funny, but the way he said he's the older man, he older than you and I.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he said, "Man, you know, motherfucker slapped my daughter." I said, "So what happened?" I went over there to check him. He said, "Man, I stepped to his face and said, hey, man, you want to put your hands on a woman?" And he said, I took a step back. And old boy said, "Man, what you taking a step back for?" He said, "Because I don't want you to fall on me when I swing on you."
Oh,
You know? So this dude, he got good sense, man. But I mean, maybe all the time, you know, it just ain't there all the way. But other than that, as what I was saying, most of the parenting that went on goes unnoticed. That's actually good. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk though. Like if you really pay attention to it, man, like most of the how do I say it? That's just like in the news. Most of the shit that's the good news, they give it a short segment. But the bad news, you know, they really display that. That's
mm-hmm.
the same thing with parents, especially for men. Men don't get appreciation like that. And I think the black men have stepped up in the last 5 to 8 years. You know what I'm saying? As far as like taking care of the kids and being there. It's a lot of dudes that actually got out of jail and who didn't go back. You know what I'm saying? Like kudos to them, because a lot of cats shit back in the 90s, man. It was like you see a motherfucker January and like, hey, what's going on? Oh, man, how long you might been down 9 years? Oh, that was up. Like February, oh man, that hurt. He went back. He gotta go do another 9, you know.
Yeah.
So cats ain't
Yeah.
really going back no more, man. They stepping up a whole lot. Um, but you know what though, man?
I want to check the recidivism rate.
Say that again.
You got to check the recidivism rate.
Do they
Somebody
actually
come
have
over there
a
going,
they actually have a stat on that?
oh hell yeah. Yep. Well,
Is
they
that
got so,
locally or is connected everywhere?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure, but you would have to research it. But they can tell you how many people go to prison and the percentage of those that come back, so you can track it to see if it's actually trending that way.
Yeah. You know what, man? Like I said, I ain't gonna hold us up too long, but I want to get your opinion on this clip, man. It's like a little 2 minute clip, but like this is just something showing like people may overlook a lot of shit, thinking that okay, it's cool. Like a lot of people say, we laugh off a lot of our hurt and pain. We use
Mhm.
humor. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I want to get your opinion when this clip is shown.
How much I appreciate her.
Hi, Mom. Kalau food pala, advice ano sa tula, big mash is my mom na. Vale pa rin palo kung food tayo siya mo sa wabli tayo siya kunya si bayo po mawite.
This may not be a popular opinion, but I gotta say, y'all, we gotta do better. This video to me is a clear example of what many of us have, which is suppressed trauma, and we laugh at our pains. This is how a lot of us tend to deal with pain, is with humor. I'm big on that. I'm big on that. But let's sit and think about that for a second, because now that I'm a parent, I could never get myself to justify logically and consciously mistreating my child for whatever reason, whether I'm going through hardship, whether I'm going through financial distress, whatever the case may be. I do not have an excuse to mistreat children. So I know it's a sensitive one, but I think we do need healing in that department as a community. This kind of behavior should not be tolerated. You do not get to mistreat your child because you came in the country, had to struggle a whole lot, make a way for yourself, learn the language, find work, learn the system. I get all of that and I sympathize with that. We are grateful. We are grateful. But let me say it again. It does not justify mistreating children. And I have a theory. Guys who grew up with moms like that, is it just me, or could there be a correlation with how they're treating women in the future? We see how Haitian men are treating Haitian women these days. I mean, if I was a dude and I grew up under this kind of verbal abuse, would I want to be with a woman who reminds me of that?
That's some pretty deep stuff, man. When I saw that, what you think about that?
I mean, it's kind of tough one on that one, P, because I think they've taken this calling your kid so much that we raising a generation of bunch of wussies and shit. It really wasn't that. What did she say? Cut that shit off your head? I mean,
Yeah, that's what she told him. Cut it off.
Yeah, I mean, shit. That's her opinion. Hell, I mean, I've heard worse from a mother. Shit. And I mean, to me, we are raising these kids to be just too soft now. They just too in touch with their damn feelings. It's a bunch of, like I say, a bunch of wussies.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get what the young lady was saying in that video. A lot of people deal with verbal abuse. I see that a lot in LA. I've seen that a lot in LA, especially in the 90s, what I call the real gangbang era, the late 80s, early 90s. These ladies who got like 5 kids from 5 different dudes from different hoods that just mad all the time, just verbal abuse. Get y'all MFAs over here. Oh, you sick, but you look just like your daddy, mother, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so,
Yeah.
like, you seen that shit a lot, man. And a lot of people don't want to talk about that, man. And that leaves some trauma on some kids, man. That's why they say some people growing up in the hood got more PTSD than some cats who was in the service. Not saying just because of that, but other effects too. You know, like gang violence in LA, shootings and shit like that.
Yeah. I mean, I
Some
guess
people,
in
some people
some
don't think.
instances it can go too far, you know. The verbal abuse can go too far. I agree with that, but overall, I mean, we just got. I guess you got to take it on a case by case basis. I don't want to draw a bright line that a parent can't say anything to a kid, or you have to say it in a certain tone. Like I say, they're creating this generation of kids who can't take any type of negative talk. Period. It's like they're crushed. You
Yeah,
know, you say anything to them that's not positive, you're not stroking their ego. Like, oh my God, I'm devastated. I mean, that's just not even the way that the world works now. When you get out to the real world, you gonna hear shit you don't like to hear. It's not gonna always be favorable, and you gonna have to deal with it.
yeah. Well, I mean, some people would also say that some schools are interfering in a way that parents actually parent their children, because you know you have some rules and regulations in schools where they don't even have to inform some of the parents of certain things going on with the children.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's wrong. Yeah.
that can affect, you know, your parenting nowadays. That's something people don't think about also, especially in a state like California. What you think about something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it does because the government has kind of stepped in and taken rights from the parent, in which they should be included in making some of these decisions.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree with that. No, the parents, like, especially when your kid deciding if they want to go by different pronouns or dress a different sex, and you can't tell the parent what the kid is doing in school. Hell no, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, man. I had I ain't gonna say it. Well, it didn't happen to a friend of mine, but a friend of mine told me about somebody that they knew that it happened to their child, where you know the child was, I don't know, going through some things. Not, I ain't saying the child was a small child, but you know, older teen. But you know, he said that, yeah, man, my buddy was kind of devastated because you know the mom said that, yeah, you know, the school called and said that they think such and such, you know, maybe a girl. And I said, just because somebody's feeling down, you think they're the opposite sex?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, well, I don't know if that's the case all the time. You know, don't know the specifics in that case. Maybe that person may have said something, but from the conversation that you know my friend had with he was like, yeah, my buddy was mad because he's like, I don't know where they got that from. You know, we just had some death in the family. You know, so I was like, I said, all right. I said, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the kid was feeling kind of down, you know, maybe because of the death in the family, you know, maybe. I said, damn, that's crazy. So that's really what's going on nowadays? I'm like, damn. So you mean to tell me the school diagnosed your child with being somebody else in another person's body because of the death of some close relatives?
Right.
I said, yeah, that's crazy. If that's true from what they were telling me.
But
But
look, circling around to this minimal parenting, there was a case here, it was maybe last week or so. It was three young men. They broke into a homeowner's house, and they were all shot. Two of them died, and I think one was like seriously injured. And the parents had the nerve to come on TV and say that the homeowner should be charged. And that just brings me back to this topic we spoke about it earlier, that we're babying these kids to the point where they're being coddled. There's no way that you should justify that your child is trying to break into somebody else's house and now you mad because they done got shot. Believe me, it's tragic, but that's not the homeowner's fault. He's protecting his property. He's protecting the life of his loved one, and those kids had no business being in there. And we talking about 16, 17-year-olds. They shouldn't have been there. I mean, it's a tragedy, yes, but That man should not be charged for that. And you should be ashamed of it. They should be ashamed of themselves for coming on TV and having the nerve to state some shit like that. That's an embarrassment to the black community, if you ask me.
I concur. I concur. You either teach them or you don't. And if you don't, there's consequences.
Life will teach them. And sometimes it's a
That,
rule
that
that's
is part of
shit.
life, but it's also a part of them not being taught by their parents or who's ever in control of them. You know, the one thing I'm gonna tell you, the one thing I've noticed, and this started in the '80s, and they came out with this thing saying, you know what? And basically, I guess it was directed directly towards us because we had back then the notion of disciplining our kids, and I guess we were doing too good of a job because wasn't enough of them going to jail. So they were like, you know what? Against the law for you to spank your kids. You can talk to them, but don't spank them. And without that action, if you notice, kids then got a lot more aggressive, a lot more bolder, and they're less obedient.
True.
And the results of that, they get mouthed to their parents or their peers. And the results of that, residual effects are them doing the things that they do now, not respecting people. I remember, let me tell you, I couldn't back talk my mom. I get slapped in the mouth. You do that today, they try to send you to jail. So,
I mean,
that I wouldn't say
that's true.
Yeah. Let them tell it. We're the generation, we're suffering from PTSD. They had the nerve to say that shit. Because we had spankings and corporal punch. They got on our ass. So they like, oh, y'all need therapy. No. Oh.
But you know what, man? My thing is, I've always said this, man. I've seen some older people that I know around the neighborhood come from the South, Arkansas, Oklahoma area, who always said, "Oh, I discipline my kids." Now, their kids are older than me, like 60 years old. Oh, I disciplined them, this and that. Yeah, man, I made sure. You hear that old talk. I raised them how I was raised. I put that belt to that ass. Shit like that. But it's like all of them still went to jail and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes
the
it's
thing is,
like, yeah.
but you know what? I came from a big family, and none of us went to jail. Mom didn't play that. So
No,
I
not
think
not not saying you, but that doesn't work for everybody. That's what
no,
I'm
it doesn't,
saying.
and that's what I was just about to. That's what I was just about to get on. Some kids need it, some don't.
Yeah.
Some need it, some don't. That's just a fact. Some kids are gonna be naturally good, naturally talented. Some don't. Some need a pinch on the ear or something. Give them that jump like you give the car battery. But some kids don't. Every parent knows their kid, and every parent knows how that kid is gonna act and how that kid is.
Well,
Everybody knows that.
well, for those who watching football, it's 17-12 Bears up on the Vikings with I think a little under 11 minutes to go.
Who's quarterbacking for the Bears?
Caleb Williams.
Oh, okay. Doing pretty
Caleb
good.
Williams. While we talk about football, man, shout out to the Blessed to Be a Texans fan page. Shout out to the whole Texans, Mr. Collins and the guys on Facebook. All those dudes, man. It was just the first game. The Texans took an L on the road, 14-9. It's the first game of the season. I'm not panicking. People are panicking. Raider fans are talking shit. Oh, Raider, man, y'all got a one. Is y'all 1-0? But come on.
Look, if that's what you're getting excited about.
Like real talk. It's going to be a good season. If you think it's over for a team because they lost the first game of the season, you got a long season to go. I pray that everybody stay healthy. We have a good season. Everybody, I want to see good football. I don't want to see us play against a team. Oh well, they have staff or we have staff. No, I want to see good football because the season goes quick. You know, we just seen the opening week. It's gonna seem like in a few weeks. It's gonna be longer than that, but it's gonna seem like, damn man, we in week 15 already.
It happens fast.
It happens fast. Hey, Don. Hey, let me get your opinion. I showed this shit already, but I want to get your opinion on this, Don. What would you do if you was in this, if this situation was you?
That's your father or your grandfather? That's my boyfriend. Oh, your boyfriend? Yeah. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I can tell you right now, unequivocally, I would never ever be in that situation. Ever. Ever. That could never happen.
Well, a lot of that's going on now. A lot of these young women is getting these older men to tap out.
Nah, that could never happen to me. You know, I'm not into young women, so I mean, you know what? To each his own, you know. But for me, you know, young woman can't do nothing for me. You know, except put me on child support till the day I die. That ain't gonna happen.
Hey, what'd you say? Then when you put you on child support, hey Russ, what number they got to call for you to represent them?
It's like 832-742-0700. Hey man, ain't nothing wrong with a little child support, Don. Shit, you gotta live, man.
Nah. You know what I live? I live with mature.
No more money for you.
Exactly. I
Look.
live with women that are mature, older, and they ain't got to worry about that problem.
Oh
What
man, that
you
sounds
say,
like
D?
that ain't no fun right there. You ain't gotta worry about that problem. That mean they ain't got no.
Yeah, you know. And I ain't talking about no women that's sitting over there looking like a sleeve stack, you know. Get you a nice woman, nice looking woman, and a nice looking woman keep you happy the rest of your life.
Yeah, that is true. A lot of these people talking about I'm married for love. Yeah, you better marry something you like too, because you gotta lay next to that motherfucker the rest of your life.
Exactly. If you rolling over and you grabbing and it's feeling like you rolling over on a snail, I suggest you get help.
Rolling over on a snail.
Yeah,
A
sleeve
snail.
stack.
Shit.
A
Hey,
sleeve
what'd you
stack.
say?
All right, what the hell you rolling over there?
You know, no, bro. I like filet mignon, bro.
Oh man.
You know,
Yeah, that siren.
Look. He say he like filet mignon, but he just described prime age beef.
no. I talk about if I said if you
He just
if you
described prime age beef. You say you don't want nothing mature.
you wasn't listening to what I said. I said if you roll over on something and it feels like a snail, hey, to each his own. I didn't say me. I didn't say me. Listen to the wording.
What'd you say? The motherfucker couldn't even pronounce it, but he said Philip Mignet.
Philly McNack.
Filet mignon.
Philly McNack. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here.
Oh shit. Oh man. Hey man. Um what's crazy was I was looking at some of the statistics here in LA, man, the approval and disapproval of our mayor Karen Bass, man. She had a very high approval rate, but it seems like a lot of people are starting to disapprove of what she's doing.
You say they disapproving?
Yeah, you know, some people in the city feel like that paying much attention to certain areas where she should be focusing on multiple things other than just 2 or 3 things, where you got a lot of other things going on also, you know. A lot of budget cuts went on street service, sanitation, DOT. took a cut, and a lot of people be like, "Oh, what does that mean?" Well, the school crossing guards are part of DOT. So right now in LA, a lot of the schools don't have crossing guards where the kids are walking to school at, so they walking across these streets by themselves. So
Yeah.
that's something for people to know in LA.
Teach early ingenuity.
Well, when it's all said and done, no, real talk is when it's all said and done. Growing up, we didn't have crossing guards.
No, we didn't. But see, we weren't walking around where people who weren't documented were allowed to have license. Also,
Yeah, well, what I was gonna say about that is that we didn't have parents that were taught like we were taught and like our parents were taught. Really, like in school, how they would teach you how to wait for the light, how to make sure cars wasn't coming. Now look at the kids these days. They're not waiting for the light to change.
a lot of
They're
They
not
can't
waiting
get
for
of
the
their head
car.
mine.
up off the damn phone.
They,
They can't
No,
stop looking at the phone.
it ain't
Shit.
even the phone, man. You know how many kids when I walk my kids to school, man. I don't drive. I specifically want to walk. Let's enjoy it outside, man. You know how many kids I be seeing that's probably in fucking 9th, 10th grade smoking big weed, walking to school.
yeah, but I ain't even talking about them. I'm talking about the little ones. You
Yeah,
see
that's
how
normal
okay?
shit.
You
That's
see how
normal
the
Them
shit.
moms.
too.
You see how the moms or even the pops, and a lot of them might not have been raised here, and it's like they just oblivious about the light. They're oblivious about the cars. It's like I don't know if it's like they want to be it, try to get a case, or if they just like I say oblivious, but they just do not concentrate on traffic. They do
Yep.
not.
Well, our street system in LA is fucked up. I tell you right now. Well, we already know. We got a lot of people driving cars they ain't supposed to be driving. It's just the street. Our streets are horrible. You got potholes that are 7 feet, 7 inches deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, come on, man. But you got all kind of crazy shit going on here. A lot of people don't realize for the ones who are not night owls, if you happen to go out late at night, they turn the street lights out, not street lights, but the lights, the corner lights, they flicker yellow. It's not red, green, certain time of night. So it's different traffic at night. You got to watch out for these street takeover people in LA because you might fuck around and get caught in a street takeover and be stuck there for about 2 hours.
Mm.
So these are some things to pay attention to, especially we towards the end of 2025. You have the NBA All-Star game coming up, if I'm not mistaken, in the Intuit Dome in February here in Inglewood, California, which everybody know Inglewood and LA is, you can walk to Inglewood, LA. Um, Also, Super Bowl is in Santa Clara, California, up there, home of the San Francisco 49ers. So it's a lot of stuff going on. And of course, summer, you have the World Cup kicking off, which LA is going to be a big venue event. So there's a lot of stuff going on. You got to be vigilant, um, pay attention to what's going on. And also, I want to say to the Dirty Rams fan who punched that Texan fan lady in the face here in LA, that was a coward move. I don't know the situation, but from what I hear, the lady said the man punched her in the face. I don't know if she said some racial slurs or whatever. I don't know, but man, that's not a good look, man. Like come on, man.
What was that? The Karen lady?
Huh?
Was that the Karen?
No. You talking about the Philly Karen, the one that took the ball from that
Oh, okay.
yeah, no. It was a young lady at the SoFi Stadium watching the Texans play the Rams, and you can see the video all online. Whoever did that to her, man, I mean, they must have had some kind of boxing experience because she was leaking all over. But from what the videos online are saying, she said that basically they didn't really do nothing. They just left her out of the stadium. They let her boyfriend go back in to collect her belongings. But I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
Wow. Who's the guy that punched him?
I don't know.
Was he arrested?
That I don't know. I gotta follow up. I'm a follow up on that and post that on the West of the 110 Facebook by the end of the night. But I'm a really follow up on that because that's a good question. Like from the last thing that I seen was a video of the young lady saying that they allowed her other half to go in there and get her belongings, and that was it. She had, you know, blood on her nose, and you can go on any social media site, man. It was crazy. Like, damn, man, like was it that serious?
Mm, mm, mm.
But like I said, I'm not finna sit
Where,
here and
where's her dude at when it
Yeah, I mean, I
happened?
don't know what transpired there. Shit, if
yeah,
she
that's what
had
I'm saying.
been
I don't know
out,
what
was she
transpired.
talking shit?
Was she talking shit? You know, I don't know who did it. I know that the victim who got punched was a younger white woman. So I don't know if she said something crazy to
Where's her
one of
dude at?
her man was right there, and shit, if you look at the video, I got the clip, but I'm not gonna show that because it's kind of graphic for YouTube. But you know what I'm saying? Like I thought it was Apollo Creed after that first round with dog with old boy from Russia when he took that oh shit.
Oh shit!
That exhibition
Damn
match.
it! Damn it! That's
No
fucked
real
up.
shit. Maybe you could see that, man. That shit was crazy. That shit was
Yeah. Send it to me.
yeah, that was wild.
Uh,
I'm gonna get a follow up on that, man. But other than that, man,
I mean,
what
I'm
do you
wondering
hey
about it. I'm wondering about her dude though. He must have been a punk motherfucker. Let him get away with that though.
yeah, that is true. He was at the game with his woman, and some dude come up and like, I
Like,
mean,
he didn't want none. Shit, he saw what they did to her. He was like, hell no.
That's why I
hey,
said
what you say?
punk ass.
Hey,
That
Deke, I
nigga
don't
say,
mean
I
no
don't
harm.
want none of that shit.
What Debo say on
Your
Friday?
mouth shut. You talk
He
too
said
damn
you
much.
better
I
be
can always
cool.
tell you talk too damn much.
He said you better be cool if I drop you like I did this bitch.
Mm.
I told you to shut your mouth sometime. You talk too much, girl.
A dude let another
Hey,
dude get away with that with your girl, dog. You breathing
that nigga
punk.
cold cocked it.
You
Like
know,
that shit was
I give a
fucked
fuck
up.
who it is.
Yeah, that was messed up. That is true, man. Where was he at? Because I'm talking about she was man from the it was on the news, man. They made the local news out here, so it ain't like it's just some shit on social. It was on the news out here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well,
Yeah, that's some fucked up shit.
he gonna be arrested. You know that.
Yeah, if they find him.
Well, they probably ain't gonna
Yes,
find
they
him.
identify him. They should be able to. I know it. Look, all them cameras in there.
Yeah, they gonna identify him.
Hell,
But like I say, if you ain't got no documentation, how they gonna identify you?
yeah, and you're
That's what
60,
they put
what,
on the
60,
news.
70,000 people out there.
Look, they'll
It's
put it
still a
on the
lot of
news.
people.
Somebody gonna snitch on him. That's Daryl. That's Daryl. I know Daryl.
Motherfucker just cold cocked her right in the face, man. That was
Unbelievable.
Look, I'm gonna have to go look that up now. I'm curious.
go real shit. Look that up, man. I can't believe y'all didn't see that. I thought y'all would have saw that down there in Houston.
Uh-uh.
Mm, mm, mm.
She might have been running her mouth
Hey,
too much. I mean,
Yeah, man.
everybody
But
not gonna be a gentleman, too.
hell no. But man, look, man. We at the hour mark, man. We ain't gonna hold too long, man. We're gonna get up out of here, man. You got some news they can use, Russ?
Oh man, oh, be a parent to your kid. Don't let society do it, because if you allow society to do it, they have mechanisms in place that surely will teach them the right way to go, and they're not gonna enjoy it. So teach your kids, and if you don't, you can call Stringfellow Taylor and Associates in case they get in trouble. It's 832-742-0700.
Y'all hit up Russ down there in Texas. Y'all need that attorney. Russ say if you don't have the cash.
No, Russ did not say that. Russ wants cash.
Russ
He said,
saying,
I charge by the pound.
Russ
No,
saying,
Russ did not say that. Russ said he
Russ
wants
saying,
cash.
tell him Russ say, Russ didn't say that. Russ said, if you don't have that cash, ma'am, you got to have that ass.
That sound like your policy. Oh man. No, Russ never said any of that. Hey, this is cash only business. Credit card.
No, but hey, I will say this though. If you need an attorney, don't stop bullshitting, you know, when y'all go to black attorneys. Because when you go to the other ones, y'all come with that money. So stop looking for freebies when you go to, oh man, you should look out for me. Well, what the fuck? What do you go to everybody else saying that shit?
Hell no.
You know, so if you wanna get that case won, you know, hit up Russ, man. They got your back, man. Shit. Russ said he even do some private security work.
Yeah. Hit me up, let me know.
Hey, go ahead, Don, man. Hit him off with some news, man.
Hey, yeah. Well, as you know already, basically Trump owns the Supreme Court, and they're rolling with him on basically everything. And they rolled on him as far as coming back to LA and all these other places. And just throwing that out there so people will be aware that, you know what, for all intents purposes, that's his court. He's going to get everything his way. And don't be surprised if, like I said, you see a lot of stuff coming our way. Us being brothers, you know. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. He hates us more than everybody. It's going to be a minute that everybody's going to find that out. Real talk. Always have, always will.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like when what's his name? Elon Musk told that girl, "You ain't even from America. Get your ass out of here." You're like, damn, bitch, you ain't from America either. Hell, you telling somebody else to get out. But he's more blunt than that.
Yeah.
Careful, blunt. Careful.
Well, like I say, man, we got to stay aware, stay woke, stay alive, man. It's West of the 110, man. Shit, we coming back to you live next week. You know what I'm saying? Hell, real talk don't end and just take a break. I'll holler at y'all.
110 to the 105, over to the 10 to the 405 LA, boy, we get it in. 110 to the 105, over to the 10 to the 405 LA, boy, we get it in. Still about to flip a script, man, I'm trying to get rich. Like I'm in Las Vegas with a bunch of fucking chips. About to breeze right by you, let the motor open up. I'm a 454, y'all niggas souped up. Flow winter like Colorado, know it be cold. I've been having money, niggas, since 10 years old. Neck froze, not me, I ain't showing what I got. Niggas got some issues, me, I'm pimping parking lots. Everybody